So what is going on, guys? Triple G here, back with another Borderlands 3 video, and today we're going to discuss Arms Race, how it's been received by the community and how we can potentially improve it at a phase 2. I don't want to say fix, because there are a lot of things in Arms Race I really do enjoy. Guys, if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week. And otherwise, let's get straight into that video. So let's start off with what I do like about Arms Race. I do like that it is a standalone endgame piece of content that varies every time you go in, has that repeatability because it gives you a completely new experience every single time you go in because of new weapons, what you might find. What I would like to see in the future, specifically to that particular moment, is that we get some variation in the weapon types, some variation in the enemy types, and some variation in the actual boss itself. I think that the mode could really benefit from actually seeing different enemies at times. This is particularly noticeable when you've been playing it for a while. You now know what weapons and shields to look out for. However, if the enemies and the bosses were varied, you would have to kind of plan for multiple avenues and be prepared, because when you drop down that shaft, you don't know what you're going to get. One of the things that I've seen on my YouTube a lot lately from the comment section is the inability to use action skills. So Gearbox decided that what they wanted to do was test our gun skills to the max and take away our Guardian rank and our action skills themselves. However, this left us with a couple of issues. The first of which is that this launched at the same time we had new action skills and new skill trees. So a lot of people wanted to use those new action skills in Arms Race and found that they couldn't, and that didn't really make a lot of sense. Couple that with the fact that we didn't actually have any new content to go with the new skill trees meant that we were trying out the new skill trees, which are awesome by the way, but we were doing it on content that we'd already done. What I would like to see fairly quickly, if possible, is if Gearbox follow up this DLC with another one quickly so that we can test our new builds out on some new content, and that will keep the player base happy. Another thing that I would potentially like to see is if we are going to get different variations of Arms Race in the future, we see a different map but with a different set of weapons. Or if we are going to keep the same map, have those weapons rotate maybe on a month or 2 basis so that players have a reason to go back in once they've actually got all the weapons they might have. I fully understand what Gearbox were trying to do here in terms of testing our absolute skills with guns. However, Borderlands isn't really Borderlands without the action skills. So a basic action skill would be really good. I'd be happy if we weren't actually able to choose. They were just told which action skill we got. Preferably the 4th skill trees if that's possible, because I think that will start to build in synergies between action skills themselves. You know, you'd want a flak for some crowd control, you might want some Amara for ties that bind, you just don't know. One of the other things I would like to see as well potentially is as you progress with the money, it's not just weapons that you could buy, you could maybe buy a perk. Now some of the perks in the skill trees would be too powerful, but pre-selected perks selected delicately for Arms Race could see a new variation of gameplay for the mode itself. Overall, I absolutely do love Arms Race. I just feel like it is a very basic version of something that could be really, really good in the future. When you think of the modding community for Borderlands 2, you think of the randomizers, you think of triple spawns, you think of all these different things. This has the potential to have something like that, like the Underdome had for Borderlands 1. I'll admit myself, when I actually had a go with Arms Race at first, I was a little bit apprehensive because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand why I didn't have my action skill. But actually, when the community has received this, particularly from the Twitch audience, a lot of the viewers have enjoyed Arms Race, but the extraction event being a pinnacle item of that, because we are actually able to influence what you guys at home get in the game. Some other really basic stuff that I would like to see as well is that when we're calling out on the minimap where we're going to go, that all players could see that. Just so that for people that are matchmaking without a mic, they're going to be able to communicate pretty effectively. One other thing that could be added to this mode is some of those challenge weapons like the Becca be added in here as an extra avenue to go out and get those weapons, or maybe even event weapons. You imagine the hype if they released the OPQ and the yellow cake into Arms Race for a couple of weeks. It would send the community crazy because they weren't able to get those weapons because the event's been over. The event might return this year, but again, it would send the community crazy because I would want to get my hands on a level 65 yellow cake as soon as possible. Like I said, if I was making a wish list of what I would like to see in a phase 2 or a next version of arms race in the future, I would like a basic action skill. I would like some sort of progression so that we could maybe unlock a perk or unlock our action skill. I also think that just a little bit of our guardian ranks would really help. The fight for your life feels really punishing, particularly on co-op play. And on the subject of co-op play, solo play is actually pretty easy, but co-op play is actually really difficult. So guys, that's it for my thoughts on arms race. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree or disagree, or what your suggestions are to improve arms race in the future. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week. And otherwise, I'll catch you on the flip.